Welcome to a brief video on operating systems. I would have preferred to work with a number of systems, but I think the key element to know about our operating system is as follows. We would need to know how each operating system functions and the key elements to an operating system. So you'd actually find what we find here is a desktop, where our desktop pretty much gives us everything that we are supposed to work with. We've got our menu, which in some instances might look different to this. We've got our search bar. We've got our icons. We've got our internet, our date and time, among other things. So here's what we might need to actually know for our learning, including our receipt, which we'll have tomorrow. I'll ask you questions about the different types of operating systems that we've got, the start bar, how we can search for items, the various internet options that we've got, maybe the icons. We will also work with our folders. So for example, this would be our folder where we can see that this is our local disk. We've also got a DVD-ROM, which in some cases might not be working well. We've got our music, documents, pictures, videos, downloads, you name it. So most of these things are exactly the same throughout the learning process, or throughout what we would want to actually work with. So the main reason would be you are supposed to learn what each operating system does. And as you all fully know, on campus we've got computers that use Windows, we've got some computers that use Linux, and some computers that use Mac OS. So some of those things will also be critical for you guys to know and figure out how you can actually play around with these and enhance your learning, so to speak. So I think for the most part, maybe I can just go through with you this Windows. If I run a command, IAG, this command pretty much would tell me a little bit about my computer, some of the things that we've got, and some of the elements that are relevant for us to actually be working with our computer. So the main aspect of it would be, in some instances we might need to know the computer name, which is this one. In this particular instance, it's telling us desktop. We also need to know the time, which it's telling us the time now, the type of operating system that we're working with, the language, the manufacturer, the model, the BIOS, the processor, the memory, among other things. So these are some of the elements that we might need to have as our learning progresses, or throughout our learning, so that we can be able to do and learn certain things about our operating systems. So now I'm going to be switching you over to the Mac OS, and then from there I'll switch you over to the Linux OS. So the next portion of this, we have a Mac OS input. Okay, so we can also proceed. For example, we've got this. This will be our Mac OS, which is similar to our Windows, where we'll also have the same content similar to what we have seen in Windows, whereby this does not have a start menu, but it's got a taskbar, which is this one at the bottom here. Instead of our menu, we've got what we call a launchpad, where we can see the various options that we've got. So these are some of the things that we'll find on our Mac OS, and we can be able to use to do whatever it is that we want to do. But at the same time, part of what we would want is to also be able to see some of the content that we've got here. So for example, I can be able to go to my Launchpad. I look for a browser, and let's say it's Firefox. Firefox would pretty much look like this one, where we can be able to no, we don't want to change that. We can be able to actually do whatever content we want to work with. Let's say, for example, we want to open our university website. We can actually be able to open that and see what it gives us. And pretty much what this then means is we can still be able to do most of the contents that we've got in our Windows. At the same time, we can also be able to pick the various options that we've got available, where these are the windows that are open, and we can still be able to view whatever content we want to actually work with. At the same time, the introduction just helps us to know that within the various options that we've got, we can actually be able to play around with our content, and then our content gives us something that we can be able to use and we can be able to work with, so that we can be able to do and view certain things.